There are people in the world, they are colorblind. They don't see colors, or rather they don't differentiate colors, or sometimes both of these things. They're basically seeing the whole world as a scale of gray, darker gray, lighter gray and whatnot. Sometimes they do learn how to differentiate some colors from another, and sometimes you can think that person actually knows what color it is, but overall it's just training and them being almost sure it is that color and saying that, and then after some time they kinda know what colors are what, but they don't see them as you see them and as I see them. I know this is blue shirt. They don't. But today's topic is not about biological color blindness, but more about social color blindness, about blindness in terms of ethnicity and race, and that's pretty much it. Do I think color blindness makes sense? Why do I think it doesn't? And why will I never participate in this part of the tolerant culture? More about that in a moment. But obviously, before we begin, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various opinions about different topics. I do 2 videos a week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let's go. So what is colorblindness in terms of social constructs? If I did find a definition of it, this is an official definition, but in my own words, colorblindness is kinda ignoring differences between races and ethnicities and saying all of them are same, or at least all of them appear to be same. As I already mentioned, it is a part of being tolerant. It is something like I shall make my opinion about this person not based on that person's opinion, but because of that person's character or values of that person. It is also kinda important in terms of job applications, because in theory it is not important what ethnicity or race you belong to in terms of your ability to do some specific work. But in practice there were enough studies who mentioned, yeah, if it is clear that this person belongs to a different race or ethnicity, or to some specific race or ethnicity, it can influence that person's chances to get a job, which is kind of a bad thing. At the end of the day, from objective point of view, your capabilities, your skill set, that is something that shall define your ability or disability to do some specific job. And if your just basic appearance or belonging to some culture defines it, it's not that it's objectively wrong. You can rotate it however you want. It is just objectively wrong and not efficient and kinda cost ineffective, if you ask me personally. And although it does make sense to apply colorblindness to some specific situations, like job applications, creating your opinion about some new person, but overall I don't think it is a very good practice, to be honest with you. Why do I think so? Because colorblindness ignores person's experience based on belonging to this specific race or ethnicity. It ignores that person's history that is connected with that person's race or ethnicity, or parts of culture that that person learned because of belonging to some specific group, as well as discrimination that the person experienced thanks to belonging to some specific group, or maybe some pleasures that the person experienced thanks to belonging to some specific group. And it is especially bad if a person is patriotic, because patriotism is a good feeling. At least most of us consider it a good feeling, at least as long as it doesn't go in direction of nationalism and chauvinism and stuff like that. It is being proud of your culture, it is being proud of the group you belong to, and normally this group is nation or culture or like nation or ethnicity or race. And the point is, if the person is proud of that part of that person's experience, that part of person's life, ignoring this part would be, in my personal opinion, wrong, not tolerant, and pretty discriminatory if you ask me personally. That person is the way they are because that person had that specific experience, had that specific history, had that culture. And now we are saying, no, you are no different as a person from a different culture, which, by the way, can be an enemy culture to your culture. And in that case, it will be like really not discriminatory, but it would be a very bad thing to say to a person that another nation who were enemies throughout history to your nation, that you are both pretty much same. You are there is no difference between you. Obviously, not being colorblind means automatically that you are at least a little bit but racist. It depends basically on definition of racism, and some people say that the definition shall be expanded to interacting with people differently based on their race or ethnicity or nationality. I want to remind you that overall definition is more connected or focused on the word discrimination based on race, ethnicity or nationality, but not different interaction, different attention to a person based on that. But as you probably know, the difference between these two concepts, it's not very different per se. The difference is very small. Like, is my different treatment to that person based on that person's race and culture and history and or maybe language capabilities, is this my different treatment discriminatory or better for that person in terms of like how the work shall be done, for example? In my personal opinion, and it is just my personal opinion, I think people shall be treated differently if it is needed because of their nationality and ethnicity and race. It obviously depends on the situation, it obviously depends on individual people who are interacting and in what context do they interact with each other. But overall, I don't see anything bad with person like being more slow with their language, like speaking slower if they know that another person doesn't know the language that well, if that person has a strong accent and whatnot. It will help. It will help that person to understand you better. It is only fair to do your best to accommodate the differences that there are between you and that person. And not to see the differences would be actually, in that case, not fair to that person. There are situations where you shall consider these differences more, there are situations where you shall consider these differences less. But I don't think that completely ignoring the differences will lead to any better future for all of us. We are different, all of us are different, we have different backgrounds, culture, experience and whatnot, and that is what makes us humanity. That's what makes sometimes us, us. In conclusion, I want to tell you, although I'm not a fan of colorblindness, seeing color shall not be used as a reason to discriminate. Seeing color shall not be used as a reason to be racist. Only because you see the difference, only because you understand the difference, you shall not forget that belonging to some specific group doesn't make all character traits that are associated with this group applicable to you. So only because I am me, it doesn't mean that all Ukrainians are same, so all Ukrainians have same character traits as I do, or all Jews. I have both of these ethnicities in my DNA, kinda. And same with other ethnicities, same with other races if we are talking of this strange social construct. Same with basically with pretty much every culture or cultural difference, or actually it is also applicable to different differences. So yeah, seeing difference shall not be used as a weapon. Seeing difference shall, in my personal opinion, be used to create more fairness, and I think we can create more fairness based on it. It shall be used to see people, actual people, with their plurality, with their complex characters, but not as a reason to put these people in one specific box. There are a lot of boxes where people fit in. And it does sound strange, but I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, people are different. It is great though. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is the case, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Except for that, I see you on Thursday. Have a great week. You can also leave comment, leave like. You know this is how it works. Have a great week. I see you on Thursday.